In Indian polity, we are going to discuss about Article 24, that is prohibition of employment of children in factories, etc. Okay, so this is the last article from the third fundamental right, that is right against exploitation. So in the previous class we discussed about Article 23, that is prohibition of traffic in human beings and forced labor. Okay, so Article 24 means it prohibits the employment of children below 14 years of age in any factory, mine or hazardous like construction work or railway work. Okay, because the children who have 14 years below, so they don't have any right to get employment under hazardous work because their body is not fit for that work. Okay, and adults only can do such work. Okay, according to Article 21A, they have the right to get education, they have the right to get free and compulsory education. Okay, so it doesn't mean or it doesn't prohibit their employment in any harmless or innocent work. Okay, it means they can do harmless work, they can do innocent work, for example child actors or child singers. Okay, so, to stop this child labor, our parliament enacted the Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986. Okay, so this act prohibited the employment of children below 14 years of age in 18 occupations and 65 process. Okay, so this is very important act. In 1996, our Supreme Court directed the Parliament to establishment of Child Labor Rehabilitation Welfare Fund. Okay, according to this Child Labor Rehabilitation Welfare Fund, any offending employer who has the child labors in his company, so he has to pay or he has to deposit fine 20,000 rupees per each child in his company. Okay, so this fund will be used in the improvement of the health, education and nutrition of the children. Okay, so and our parliament enacted another important act, that is Commission for Protection of Child Rights Act 2005. So this is very important law. And there are two separate commissions at the central level and state level, National Commission and State Commission. Okay, and another important thing is Children's Court. So this is very important, and this is for speedy trial of offences against children or violation of child rights. Okay, in 2006, government banned the employment of children as domestic servants or workers in business like in hotels, dabas, restaurants, shops, factories, resorts, spas and tea shops, etc. Okay, so Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986 was amended in 2016. That is Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Amendment Act 2016. According to 2016 Amendment Act, it renamed the Child Labor Act 1986, that is Child and Adolescent Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986. Okay, so here child means below 14 years and adolescent means 14 to 18 years of age. Okay, so this is very important act and it introduced very effective punishment for offenders, and it prohibits the child labor in all occupations. Okay, there are some important acts for prohibition of the child labor, and these are enacted by the parliament. So Employment of Children Act 1938 and the Factories Act 1948, the Mines Act 1952 and the Merchant Shipping Act 1958, Plantation Labor Act 1951 and the Motor Transport Workers Act 1951 and Apprentice Act 1961 and Beedi and Cigar Workers Act 1966. Okay, so these are very important acts which are enacted by the parliament to stop the child labor. Okay.